Hi, Rachel Landolt here, and this is my identity presentation. I'm going to try something new tonight. I was really impressed with a lot of the This I Believe presentations, and I wanted to give these nifty, fancy presentations a try. So here we go. Um, I picked this design because I thought it was really appropriate when talking about my identity, and all of these pieces are kind of cogs in a wheel. It kind of makes the bigger whole. So first of all, my race is Caucasian, and this is a part of who I am. While I feel that I don't put a lot of emphasis on this, I do feel that society puts a lot of emphasis on it. And at the end of the presentation, I will go into my identity chart and my different percentages of how meaningful and important each one of these items are. Next, I kind of grouped all of these different ones together. First of all, sex, I would consider myself female. Gender and gender roles, feminine, and this one is somewhat important to me. I think I'm sometimes a little conflicted on this one because I do work full time. I enjoy working full time, and at the same time, I try to keep up everything at the house because I do have a viewpoint of somewhat traditional roles in that, but yet I'm still working outside the home. Sexual orientation would be heterosexual. I am married and have been married for 6 years and enjoy being a part of that relationship. Abilities, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later, but I do feel that this is probably one of my larger meaningful areas. I find things extremely important as far as what I'm capable of doing both in a work setting and at home. So I do have academic strong in school, my verbal skills and writing skills, problem solving skills. I would say at work I'm very good with the computer, and so my computing skills I think is a big asset that I can set myself apart from maybe other individuals. I am always thankful for my ability of being mobile and not having a disability of any kind and having full capacity of all of my faculties. I think emotional intelligence is one that is important to me, and meaning that I have a strong sense of my identity in relation to others. And I mean, just thankfully, I don't have a whole lot of restrictions on my quality of life. And then down here, I did put my Clifton Strengths Finder. I don't know if anybody else has done that, but Sam Houston State University offers a workshop where you can discover your top 5 strengths. And a lot of people don't do this. They in our jobs we kind of think about what we don't do well, and it challenges us to think about what are my unique top 5 strengths that I can bring to any team or any table. And so those are extremely important to me, and since taking that test I have relied on that as far as how I relate in a job setting or how I relate in my family setting. Socioeconomic class, I would consider myself upper middle class. This is a picture of my husband and I just bought our first home. We rented for the first 5 years of our marriage, and that was very much of a unique experience for us, and because a lot of our married coupled friends were married and bought a house like right off the bat, and so we decided to pay off some of our school debt, and then decided to buy a home. But I know that this isn't everybody's experience, and it was something that was long coming for us that we worked very hard to achieve, and so that's something I'm very proud of. My education, which I'll talk more about in a second, is also something that sets me apart than maybe somebody else in society. And the fact that I work full time, with when the recession hit, a lot of individuals, including myself, had to work part time, and for a while I had to work 2 part-time jobs in order to be able to have the equivalent of a full-time. So I'm very proud of my full-time position that I have now, and I know that not everybody has the opportunity to have that. And I feel like those are all part of what makes up upper middle class and what upper middle class is striving for. And so I would very much characterize myself in that category. And this one is important to me because it has not always been my family's experience. I do come from a background in my extended family that was lower socioeconomic class, and they strived and worked very hard to overcome that. And the fact that the next generation has been able to rise above that status is very important to me. And so this one happens to be one that is somewhat important to me. The next one, this is probably my biggest area that is the most meaningful to me. It would be religion. I am a Protestant Christian, and I would break that down even further to say that I worship at a Church of Christ. There's many different denominations, and the funny thing is just yesterday I was watching a Bible study video with some of my friends at church, and the teacher made this comment that actually our churches are probably the most segregated area in America. I don't know if that's her personal opinion, but it got me thinking. My ears perked up, and I think that's true, and I don't agree with that. My husband and I are very, while we practice at a Church of Christ, we are very open to other denominations and have worshiped with other denominations and don't segregate from interacting with individuals of many different religions, and so that's something that is important to my husband and I. But we do have strong Christian values, and that impacts a lot that is about me. It impacts my marriage, it impacts values, it impacts even where I chose to go to school for undergrad. Decided to go to a private school, so it very much encompasses a large part of my life and who I am. This one is one that I added in as one of my other categories, family, specifically the idea of clan. Sorry about that. My allergies are bothering me quite badly tonight. My family, my extended family, specifically my mom's side of the family, are from the Arkansas area, and she is one of 11 children. And this is a family that I was referencing that grew up very low socioeconomic background, a lot of family background on that, that really they were recipients of charitable donations from the community. We're a very farming family, and they, because of that, the idea of clan is very strong, that you can only rely on your family. We are still very connected with that side of the family. We have a family reunion that happens every year that we go to. Sometimes we talk about ourselves in that format that, I'm a Martin. That was my mom's maiden name. So we relate in a lot of ways to that. Even when my husband married into the family, it was very important to me that he go to that family reunion and be accepted and be okay with being a part of that clan. And I know that has been somewhat challenging for him to kind of break into that mindset, and it's not even something I'm totally aware of sometimes because it's how I grew up, and so I don't think of it from somebody coming from the outside to be a part of that family. But it is a very large family, and I know that it operates a little bit in a clan format, and so that is a very strong part of who I am. And it was actually my husband that, in talking about the project, encouraged me to put that as a part of it. And I hadn't even really thought of it, but it is a large part of who I am. Okay, many people in their presentations have already mentioned birth order, and I put this on here because I do think it is a part of who I am. Firstborn, I am the oldest in my family. I have one sister, and this is a picture of her. And then I found this nice little chart that talked about how birth order affects our personalities. And you can see up here, this area here talks about being very confident, assertive, and ambitious. And I definitely agree that talks about me. And I thought it was kind of interesting because I wasn't looking for this, but it shows that oldest individuals sometimes often find themselves in higher education. So I'd be curious to see how many of us in this program are firstborn. So that is a part of who I am. Then I put level of education. Obviously, I'm pursuing post-secondary education, and working in higher education, I very much feel that not everybody has the opportunity or the capability of going as that far in education. I advise students daily, and some of them are trying to decide if they want to get a certificate, if they want to get an associate's, want to get just a bachelor's, or go even all the way to PhD. And so I know this is a privilege for me to be able to pursue a post-secondary degree, and I'm very proud of that ability and thankful that I am able to do that. Also, I put on here the mascot for Sam Houston because I think, growing up in a college town, a lot of people, with A&M find that extremely much a part of their identity. And so, in a way, this is kind of my college state experience because I didn't get that through my private institution. Okay, so this one is my one of the last ones. It's being an overcomer. This is something that was very much a part of my family of origin, and the fact that we have continued to overcome some of those propensities to addictions is very much a part of my family and myself and my extended family. Okay, so this is my identity chart, and I have only a few more minutes here, and so I'll go into a little bit more detail. You can see that the largest area is religion, followed by my abilities and strengths, and then followed by my family clan of origin, and that was at 10%. The next one would be my education level at 8%, and I put a lot of emphasis on that, and then followed by the next one being my overcomer status, and then these ones were all very similar and close to me. Gender, as far as gender roles, sexual orientation, and then class. I would kind of put those all somewhat on the same level, followed by my race and my birth order. And I have race somewhat lower on the chart, and like I said, I feel like it's not a huge issue for me. I feel like I experience a lot of things in society that make it a big issue. And then the last thing would be my sex, and that's not a big deal to me either. So that's my chart, and I appreciate you guys letting me try out this new form of presentation, and have a great evening.